Hi all, this is Reshmi Elias from freshersworld.com. In today's video, I will be dealing with the topic space orientation or direction test. Even though the question based on this topic is lengthy, once you know the concept clearly, you will be able to solve any questions based on this topic easily. So we make our concept of direction after seeing the position of sun and the direction which works according to the sunrise and sunset is known as the main direction. There are four main directions, that is north, south, east and west. So always on a paper you have to mark the top position as north. We know that opposite of north is south. So the downward direction is south. And if you are facing north, your right will be east and left will be west. Now, in between two main directions, we have the cardinal direction. So, there are four cardinal directions. That is, between north and east is the northeast. Between north and west is the northwest. Between south and west is the southwest. And between south and east is the southeast. Next is the concept of turn. So, if you are making left turn, means whatever direction you are facing, if it is a left turn, you will be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. And if it is a right turn, whatever direction you may be facing, you will be rotating in the clockwise direction. If the angle is not specified, then a turn means always 90 degrees. That is, suppose if you are facing north, then after a left turn means you will be rotating in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So, what will be your new direction? You will be facing towards west. Suppose if you are facing north, and if you are making right turn means always clockwise direction. So after a right turn, you will be facing towards east. Hope this much is clear to everyone. One more thing, if you are facing southwest and if you make a right turn, in which direction will you be facing now? Right turn means always clockwise direction and a turn means it will be 90 degree. So you will be facing in which direction? Northwest direction. At the same time, if it was a left turn, you will be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. So your new direction will be towards southeast. Now let's see some questions. So the first question is, a person walks towards east and then towards south. After walking some distance, he turns towards west and then turns to his left. In which direction is he walking now? Now we know how to mark the four directions. In the question it is directly given that person walks towards east, then he turns south. After walking some distance, he turns towards west. Then he made a left turn. Left turn means he is moving in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction. So, in which direction will he be facing now? He will be facing in the southward direction. So we don't have any shortcuts to solve this question. The thing is, you have to read the question carefully and try to answer it. Next question. Ammu travel in north direction and then turns left. After traveling some time, she turned left again and then right. After that, she turned left and then again turned left. In which direction is she facing? Question is very lengthy, but it's very easy to answer. So, what is being told here? Ammu travel in northward direction. After traveling for some time, she turned left. Left means anti-clockwise direction. Now she is facing towards west. Then she turned left and then right. So that effect will be cancelled because left means moving in anti-clockwise direction and right means moving in clockwise direction. So that effect can be cancelled. After that, she turned left and then left. Now she is facing towards west. When she make a left turn, that is in anti-clockwise direction, she will be facing towards south. Again she made a left turn. That is, she moves again in anti-clockwise direction. So she will be facing towards east. Without drawing the figure also, you can solve this question. That is, Ammu travels in northward direction. That is, she is starting in northward direction. Then she turns left. After traveling some time, she turned again left, then right, then left, then left. From this, you can cancel out one left and one right. Remaining is 3 left. That is, she is facing in north direction. When she makes a left turn, she will be facing towards west. Again she makes a left turn, so she will be facing towards south. Again she makes a left turn, so she will be facing towards east. Moving on to the first question. Ramesh walks 20 meter north. Then he turns right and walks 30 meter. Then he turns right and walks 35 meter. Then he turns left and walks 15 meter. Then he again turns left and walk 15 meter. In which direction and how many meters away is he from his original position? So let's see how to solve this question. So here it is said that Ramesh walks 20 meters north. Before starting, we know the direction north, south, east and west. In the question, it is said that Ramesh walks 20 meters north. North is in the top position. So he is walking 20 meters north. After that, he turns right and walks 30 meters. So whenever you draw this, imagine that you are walking. So you know your left and right. Left is always in anti-clockwise direction. Right means towards the clockwise direction. So he turns right and walks 30 meter. So this is the direction. He walks 30 meters. Again he turns right and walks 35 meter. Again he is walking in clockwise direction and walks 35 meters. Then he turns left and walks 15 meter. Left means anti-clockwise direction. After that, he again turns left and walks 15 meter. So again he moves in anti-clockwise direction. Now the question is, in which direction and how many meters away is he from his original position? So it is clear that the point A is lying on the east of original position. Now the question is, how many meters away is he from the original position? So from the figure it is clear that the distance is RA. This is nothing but RC plus CA. So 30 plus 15, you will get the answer as 45 meters. So your answer will be 45 meters east. Let's do one more question. Ravi left home and cycled 10 kilometers southwards. Then he turned right and cycled 5 kilometers. Then he again turned right and cycled 10 kilometers and turned left and cycled 10 kilometers. How many kilometers will he have to cycle to reach his home straight? Let Ravi's home be at A. So it is said that Ravi cycled 10 kilometers southwards from his home. So he is starting from the point A then cycled 10 kilometers towards south. Then he turned right and cycled 5 kilometers. So right means in clockwise direction. Then he again turned right and cycled 10 kilometers. So right means again clockwise direction, that too 10 kilometers. After that he turned left and cycled 10 kilometers. Left means in anti-clockwise direction. So the question is to find out how many kilometers he has to cycle to reach his home straight. So for that what we have to do? We have to add the distance. He started from A and reached at the point D. So the distance will be 10 plus 5, 15 kilometers. So let's start with the first question. Raman walked 2 kilometers west from his office and then turned south covering 4 kilometers. Finally, he walked 3 kilometers towards east and again moved 1 kilometer west. How far is Raman from his initial position? So, we know the direction north, south, east and west. It is as per given in the figure. Now, in the question it is said that Raman walked 2 kilometers west. Let his office be at A. From there he walked 2 kilometers west. From the direction map you will be able to identify the direction. After that he turned south covering 4 kilometers. South is in the downward direction. He covered 4 kilometers. Then he walked 3 kilometers towards east. From there he again moved 1 kilometer west. Now he is at position E. Our question is to find out how far is Raman from his initial position. Initial position was A and the final position is at E. So, how far is Raman from his initial position? That is distance AE. Distance AE is nothing but the distance BC itself. We know BC, that is equal to 4 kilometers. So, the answer will be 4 kilometers. That is Raman is 4 kilometers away from his initial position. Second question. Ragi walked 10 kilometers towards north. She walks 6 kilometers towards south then. From here she walks 3 kilometers towards east. How far and in which direction is she with reference to the starting point? So we know the direction map. It is given here. And in the question it is said that Ragi walked 10 kilometers towards north. Let A be the starting point. From there she is walking towards north. That is in the upward direction. Then she walked 6 kilometers towards south. That is in the opposite direction and reached the point C. From here she is moving towards east for 3 kilometers. And we are asked to find out her distance from the starting point. We know that the starting point is A and the final point is D. So we are asked to find out the distance AD. Now to calculate AD, we know that this is a right angled triangle. In a right angled triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Here AD is the hypotenuse, AC is the base and CD is the altitude. So we can write AD square is equal to AC square plus CD square. Now to find AC, we know that total distance is 10 and BC is 6. So how much is AC? 10 minus 6, that is equal to 4 kilometers. So to find AD, what you have to do? Find the square root of AC square plus CD square. AC is 4 kilometers and CD is 3 kilometers. So root of 3 square plus 4 square, that is 9 plus 16, root 25. Root 25 is nothing but 5 kilometers. So we got the distance as 5 km. But in the question we are also asked to find out the direction in which she is facing with reference to the starting point. So from the figure it is clear that the point D is to the northeast of A. So the answer to this question is 5 km northeast. Moving on to the next question. A and B start walking from a point in opposite direction. A covers 3 kilometers and B covers 4 kilometers. Then A turns right and walks 4 kilometers while B turns left and walks 3 kilometers. How far is each from the starting point? Hope you understood the question. Here A and B starts from the same point. Let it be from the point O. And they start walking in the opposite direction as shown here. Here A covers 3 km and B covers 4 km. It is said that A turns right and walks 4 kilometers. Always keep in mind that left means in anti-clockwise direction and right means in clockwise direction. So here it is said that A turns right and walk 4 kilometers. That is in clockwise direction A turns 4 kilometers and B turns left and walks 3 kilometers. Left means in anti-clockwise direction. We are asked to find out how far is both from the starting point. We know the starting point of A is at O and the finishing point of A is at C. So, how far is A from the starting point? That is the distance CO. This is a right angled triangle. So, hypotenuse square will be equal to base square plus altitude square. Here the base is 3 km and altitude is 4 km. So, we will get CO as root of 3 square plus 4 square. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So, root of 25 that is equal to 5 km. Similarly, the starting point of B is at O and the finishing point is at D. So, how far is B from the starting point? It is the distance OD. OD can be calculated using Pythagoras theorem. So, we will get OD is equal to root of again 3 square plus 4 square. So, root of 25 that is 5 km. We will be discussing the problems based on direction test if the angles are specified. Let's get started. So, we know that the 4 directions north, south, east and west. Here the angle between north and east is 90 degree and north and west is 90 degree, west and south is 90 degree and south and east is 90 degree. In between two main directions we have the cardinal direction. Angle between the main direction and the cardinal direction is 45 degrees. That is angle between north and northeast is 45 degree. Northeast and east is 45 degree. Similarly, angle between east and southeast is 45 degree. Southeast and south is 45 degree. In the same way, you can mark the other angles also. To understand the concept of degree, keep in mind this figure. If a person facing north turns 135 degree clockwise, means in which direction will he be facing? We know that when a person facing north turns 90 degree clockwise means he will be facing towards east. So 90 plus 45 is 135. So he will be facing in which direction? Southeast direction. If suppose a person turns 180 degree, then that person will be facing in the exact opposite direction. That is, if someone is facing north and if he turns 180 degree clockwise or anti-clockwise, he will be facing towards south. If a person facing east turns 180 degree clockwise or anti-clockwise, he will be facing towards west. That is, if a person makes 180 degree turn means he will be facing in the exact opposite direction. Suppose if a person is facing northeast and if he turns 180 degree clockwise or anti-clockwise, he will be facing towards southwest. Let's do one problem. Mary is facing south and turns 45 degree anti-clockwise. Then she turns again 180 degree in anti-clockwise. Now she turns 270 degree clockwise. Which direction is she facing? Here Mary is facing south. Then she turns 45 degree anti-clockwise. So she will be facing towards southeast. Then she turns 180 degree anti-clockwise. We know that when a person turns 180 degree means she will be facing in the exact opposite direction. So here she will be facing in northwest direction. After that she turned 270 degree clockwise. 270 means nothing but 180 plus 90. So after making 180 degree, she will be facing in the exact opposite direction, that is southeast. Then she turned 90 more in clockwise direction. So plus 45 is she will be facing towards south, plus one more 45, that is she will be facing in southwest direction. I will tell you one more method so that you can find the answer easily. So for anti-clockwise direction, put negative side, and for clockwise direction put positive side. So here first she turns 45 degree anti-clockwise, that is minus 45 degree. Then she turns 180 degree anti-clockwise, again minus 180 degree. Then she makes 270 degree clockwise, that is plus 270. So add all these values. Minus 45 minus 180 is minus 225. Minus 225 plus 270 is plus 45. So it is said that she is facing south from the 45 degree in clockwise direction. So she will be facing in the southwest direction. Next question. Rajesh is facing north and walks 10 km. He turns 270 degree anti-clockwise and walks 15 km. Now he again turns 45 degree clockwise and walks for 25 km. Which direction is he facing? So Rajesh is facing north and walks for 10 km. Then he turns 270 degree anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise 270 degree means 180 plus 90. When he turns 180 degree, he will be in the exact opposite direction, that is south. Then one more 90. So he will be facing towards east and walks for 15 km. Now he again turns 45 degree clockwise. 45 degree clockwise means in which direction? South east. And walks for 25 km. So we are asked to find the direction. The direction is southeast. We can solve by adding the angles also. At first he is turning 270 degree anti-clockwise, that is minus 270 degree. Then he turns 45 degree clockwise, that is plus 45 degree. So minus 270 plus 45 is minus 225. That is 225 degree in anti-clockwise direction. At present he is facing north. From there 180 degree in anti-clockwise direction means in the exact opposite direction, that is south, plus one more 45 in anti-clockwise direction. So he will be moving in southeast direction. In today's video, I will be explaining to you where the shadows will be formed during sunrise and sunset and how we will be solving the problems related to the same. In the morning or during sunrise, we know that sun rises in the east. So the shadow will be formed always towards the west. Suppose if a person is facing north, his shadow will be formed towards the west, that is towards his left side. And if he is facing towards south, his shadow will be formed towards the west, that is towards the right side of him. If he is facing towards east or towards the sun, his shadow will be formed in the west, that is towards the back of him. And if he is facing towards west, his shadow will be formed in front of him. Hope this much is clear to everyone. Now, during sunset, we know that sun sets in the west. So, the shadow will be always formed towards the east. Suppose if a person is facing north, his shadow will be formed towards east, that is towards his right. And if he is facing towards south, his shadow will be formed towards his left. Suppose if he is facing towards east, his shadow will be formed in front of him. And if he is facing towards west, his shadow will be formed towards his back. So this you have to keep in mind. And yet another important point to keep in mind is that at 12 o'clock the rays of sun are vertically downwards. So there will be no shadow at 12 o'clock noon. I hope these points are clear to everyone. So let's see some of the problems based on this topic. One morning after sunrise, Akshay was facing a pole. The shadow of the pole fell exactly to his right. Which direction was he facing? And we know that sun rises in the east. So during sunrise, shadow will be formed towards the west. In the question, it is clearly said that shadow of the pole fell exactly to the right. Suppose if he is facing north, shadow will be formed in the west, that is to the left side of him. So he is not facing north. And if he is facing towards south, we know that the shadow will be formed in the west, that is to the right side of him. So he is facing towards south. Next question. One afternoon, Manisha and Madhuri were talking to each other face to face. If Manisha's shadow was exactly to the left of Madhuri, which direction was Manisha facing? We know that in the afternoon, sun is in the west. So, the shadow will be formed in the east. The question, it is said that they were facing each other. Suppose if Manisha is facing north, we know that her shadow will be formed towards the east because sun is in the west. Here Manisha is facing north. So Madhuri will be facing south. And according to Madhuri, Manisha's shadow is exactly to the left of Madhuri. And our question is to find out in which direction was Manisha facing. So it is clear that Manisha is facing towards north. Next question. One evening before sunset, two friends, Sumit and Mohit, were talking to each other face to face. If Mohit's shadow was exactly to his right side, which direction was Sumit facing? So we know that in the evening, sun is in the west. So shadow will be formed towards the east. It is said that Sumit and Mohit were standing face to face, and the shadow of Mohit was exactly to his right side. That is, if Mohit is facing north, his shadow will be formed in the east. That is, to the right of him. That is, Mohit is facing towards north. Since they are standing face to face, if Mohit is facing towards north, in which direction will be Sumit facing? Sumit will be facing towards south. With this, we are winding up the classes on direction test. Hope you understood how to solve the problems based on this topic. So, wish you good luck. Thank you.